All right, let's start where we left off last week, Thursday. We were talking about Power Standard 1, I can Statement 3, I can write and solve proportions. We discussed what is a proportion. And we said that a proportion was two equivalent ratios. So I have in front of you two equivalent ratios. I've got 3 boys to 4 girls is equal to 15 boys, but then we have to figure out how many girls there are. Now I recommend remembering this phrase, cross multiply. And the reason why I say cross multiply is because not every single proportion is going to be this basic. This proportion, I believe everybody can look at this and say, well, Mr. Meeks, you multiplied the numerator by 5. And whatever we multiply the numerator by, that's what we have to multiply the numerator by. So, Mr. Meeks, X equals 20 girls. And that is correct. And that's, if you see that, if you're given one of these basic proportions, by all means, you are allowed to do that. Okay? If you can see a pattern here. Most of the problems that we're going to do are not going to be this basic. So let's say I put, I'm not even going to use labels. I'm just going to use 15 and F equals 6 over 11. Now, when we cross multiply these, that's exactly what it means, cross multiply. So what's 6 times F? And because we multiplied diagonally this way, we have to make sure that we multiply diagonally this way. And multiply this numerator and denominator. And 15 times 11, class, is 165 is correct. So now that we have this equation is asking us what number, when we multiply it by 6, will give us 165. Well, to solve this, what we have to do is we have to do the inverse of multiplication. And what's the inverse of multiplication, Katie? So we're going to divide both sides by the coefficient. The coefficient is the number in front of the variable. What's 6 divided by 6? 1. 165 divided by 6 is 27 and a half. And that's your answer. And that's pretty much proportions in a nutshell. When you are given these two ratios, you just literally cross multiply to figure out what the value of the variable is. But obviously, I'm not the type of person that's just going to give you these types of problems. You might have a couple, 2, 3, but you guys have been with me long enough and you know I like word problems. So let's do 6 cupcakes, since we just had one, cost $5.88. Write a proportion to help us figure out the cost of 22 cupcakes. Notice I did not write how much does 20 cupcakes cost. I'm not looking for the cost. What am I asking you to do? I am asking you to just set up a proportion. I'm not asking you to cross multiply here in number 3. I'm not asking you to tell me how much 22 cupcakes would cost me. I just want you to set up a proportion that would allow us to solve if need be. Does anybody want to try to give us a proportion that they might use? Lizzie?
Well, 6 cupcakes.
Okay.
Over $5.88.
All right, I like it so far.
And then equals 22 cupcakes.
Okay.
Over X.
So let's see. We have cupcakes equal cupcakes. Money equals money. Does 6 cupcakes cost $5.88? Oh, that's a good one. Does anybody else maybe have another one that they were thinking of? Cam?
$5.88 over 6 cupcakes.
Okay.
And X over 22 cookies.
So you basically just took Lizzie's and flipped it. And that works. That's perfect. Christian, what do you got?
You could do six cupcakes,
Yeah?
and then under would be 22 cupcakes
Okay, I like it.
equals, and that would be 5.88,
Okay.
and then under it would be X.
Right. We have cupcakes and cupcakes. We have money and money. That works perfectly. Does 6 cupcakes cost $5.88? Yep. That one works. That one works. This was the one that I was thinking of. But nobody said it. You know? Yep. That was the one I was thinking of. Yep. I like that one. Did you guys like that one? What? Kennedy? Are you telling me I'm wrong? What's wrong with my proportion again, Kennedy? Oh, so right here, that's not an appropriate ratio to use because 22 cupcakes doesn't cost $5.88. What is it, a B? Yeah. Cole, it's a B, buddy. Sit down. His name is, no, he already has a name.
Is it Jerry?
No, it's Tyrone. My 6th hour has become very fond of Tyrone. Yep. Tyrone used to have a queen. Her name was Misty. But Misty is no longer with us. I squished her. Whack!
Well, Tyrone's gone.
Oh, that's Uncle Freck. And then I had Ty Lee, Hunter, and Ashley Zach. They were like, could we just write something on the tile about Uncle Freck? I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll just erase it when you leave. And they write it in permanent marker. And now I can't get it off. I'm serious. I tried getting it off, and now I can't get it off. So it says, lies here, Uncle Freck. Uncle Freck was like a little piece of paper. It was our class pet. Mr. Grill Squash to be? Yeah. I tell you. Gunner? What? Oh, good. He probably got hungry. All right. All right, let's take a look at example 4 real quick. Because not only do we have to be able to set up proportions and solve proportions from word problems, we also have to be proficient in looking at them from a tables perspective. So let's say game 1, game 2, points, shots. So let's say you had 8 points on 10 shots, 18 points. Well, let's not do 18. Let's do let's just do well, let's just keep it 18. I don't care. So we need to figure out the value of W. We need to figure out how many shots this person took in game 2. Is there a proportion that we could set up to help us solve this problem? Can you come up with a proportion? Scott?
8 points over 10 shots, and then 18 points over W shots.
Right. And then we would just cross multiply like we did in the beginning and get 8W equals 180. Divide by the coefficient and you get 22.5 points or 22.5 shots. Mr. Meeks, how are you going to take a half of a shot? Well, maybe it's the average. I don't know.
Why don't you just do the 10 times 18 divided by 8 and skip a step?
I did 10 times 8 right here.
Yeah,
10.
you don't have to write that. You just do 10 times 18 divided by 8.
Well, remember what this I can statement is. It's I can write a proportion. So I need to make sure that you know how to write it. Is that what you're saying? Like you want to skip this step?
No, the second one.
You want to skip this one?
Yeah, so you just do 1 half of that. Yeah.
So you just want to do in your head 10 times 18 divided by 8?
Use a calculator.
Huh?
Use a calculator and do 10 times 18 divided by 8.
I understand, and right now I want you to write this step.
All right.
Okay? And one of the reasons is because a lot of people sometimes make a little careless mistake. And if you just went from this to the answer and put like 24, well, where'd the 24 come from? I don't know how you got 24. At least when I see this, if you put 24, I know that you probably typed something into the calculator wrong, and I can give you half credit. If you just go from this to the answer, I can't give you any points. It's wrong. All right, so I'd like to see you write the proportion or set it up, and then I also want to see you do the equation. Set up the equation and divide. Can somebody give me, for this problem, an incorrect proportion? I know your teachers probably never ask you to give a wrong answer, but I'm not like most teachers. So can somebody give me a wrong answer? What would a wrong proportion be for this table? Emily.
10 over 8 will 10 shots over 8 points.
Okay.
And then 18 points over W shots.
Right. You can't have shots in the numerator and then have points. The 10 and the 18 don't correspond with one another. Good job. Yep, that one would be wrong. That one definitely would be wrong. Does anybody have any questions on how to set these up? I know I went quickly today, but I feel like we talked about this a lot on Thursday and Friday. So I've got 10 problems for you, Joe. Huh? The test is Wednesday. So you'll do group work today, your study guide will be tomorrow, and then Thursday's the test. Or Wednesday's the test. And then Thursday we'll talk about proportional relationships. No questions? Okay. All right, well, let me give you guys your practice.